What's up, guys? I'm Random Frank P. Hope you're all having a glorious day, because today we're going to be reviewing the brand new Glorious Model O wireless gaming mouse. Get that lotion ready. So if you're interested in picking it up, we'll go through it all, pros and cons, talk about my experience in this review of the Model O wireless. So first up, this is the highly anticipated release after Gloria shook up the mouse market in May of 2019, and now we have the wireless version of the popular Model O. And the Model O launched at just $50. And guess what? This is coming in at just $80, which is still half the price of the Razer Viper Ultimate, $20 cheaper than the new SteelSeries Aerox 3, and G Pro Wireless is still over $100, and Corsair apparently doesn't believe in lightweight mice, so Gloria's coming in, saving everyone's wallets with just an $80 price tag on this lightweight wireless mouse, while still giving you different color options, by the way. You love to see it, you really do. Also, real quick, inside the box is the wireless receiver and the extender module. Thankfully, the USB dongle itself that plugs into your PC is nice and tiny and compact, won't be popping out anywhere. And as for that extender piece, this is for maybe if your PC isn't like right at your desk, you can plug in the included USB-C cable into the extender, then plug the dongle into here, so it has just better range or it's closer to you. And yes, just like I said, the cable is USB-C, and it's their same lightweight Ascended cord, and if you put two and two together, then that means yes, the mouse itself charges via USB-C. And the only slight odd thing here I'll say is the included cable has these prongs on the end to fit into the mouse better, so it doesn't fall out while you're charging or using it. And it's not proprietary or anything, all the USB-C cables I have around here still fit into the mouse with no problem. But I will just point out that if you're using this, wired while you're charging it, I'd have to assume just the extra bits of plastic here is gonna add an extra 2-3 grams onto the mouse. And it's not a big deal at all, obviously, but I did want to point it out because I just don't know if this extra plastic is entirely necessary. And taking a look at it, the shell, shape, and design is obviously going to be identical to the wired Model O, and the only real issues people had in the past was with their cable. So in theory, since you're going wireless now, you won't have to worry about that. But Gloria still gives you the option to pick it up in either black or white colors. They said the glossy variants will come later on down the line. And for physical features, you still have the 6 programmable buttons, the embedded RGB light strip, and here for comparison's sake, on the white model, I have their ceramic G floats, then on the black model is their stock G skates. And as you'd expect, giving the lightweight ambidextrous mouse that lightweight form factor is with the honeycomb cutouts, bringing it between 70 grams and 68 grams on my scale. So safe to say 69 grams, as they advertise, is spot on. And this still is really impressive considering the wired Model O is 67 grams. So just adding 2 more onto it with the wireless technology inside is awesome to see. I know with the cutouts, you either absolutely just despise it or it doesn't bother you, but Glorious does now sell skins to cover up the mouse if you just can't visually take it. But again, guys, this is why it's lightweight. In terms of dimensions, it's 26 millimeters from the front to the scroll wheel, stands 37.5 millimeters tall at its highest point, and is 128 millimeters long. It's then 59 millimeters wide at the middle width and 66 millimeters at the widest point for its hips. So it's not small, I'd say definitely on the medium to larger side of a mouse. And visually here it is at the left, next to the wired Model O. Then you have the Razer Viper Ultimate, the Model O Minus, and then all the way to the right is the SteelSeries Aerox 3. So as you can see, it is the larger model out of all these. Granted, the Model O next to it is the same size, obviously. Then the Model O Wireless doesn't have a wireless version yet, but I figured you can just see how it stacks up with the other 2 lightweight wireless mice out there right now. And actually it's lighter than the 74 gram Viper Ultimate, and the Aerox 3 is 66 grams. So yeah, the Model O is 3 grams heavier here, but it's also $20 lighter. Flipping her belly up is the power button and the DPI LED indicator, and their very own BAMF sensor, which goes up to 19,000 DPI. And I don't know if they created this from the ground up or if it's some iteration of a PixArt model, but I'm digging the name. And they said it's designed for low power consumption, and obviously you're not sacrificing performance at all because it's still 1000 hertz polling rate, 400 IPS tracking, and the 19,000 DPI, like I said. For the switches, I haven't seen anything regarding any changes, so I assume it's the same switches from their previous Model O. I'll do a sound test now so you can hear how it all sounds. Now for battery life, they have it rated for 71 hours of gaming with no RGB enabled, and that's definitely impressive, I'd say. Out of the box, it does come preset with RGB at 50% brightness with their glorious mode sort of rainbow wave going on, and you can save some life if you keep the brightness at like 20% or so if you absolutely need RGB, but there's just no reason to keep it at 100%. And right now it's tough to get a fully accurate reading of how long the battery lasts with full RGB lighting because there's actually no percentage in the software to show you the battery life. They have just a little battery icon with these 5 bars to show you the remaining life of it. And it didn't actually even tell me what the percentage was until it got down to like 3%. Then it gave me a warning, but I did reach out to them. They said the percentage will be added in the future. This is still an early version of their software, so happy to hear that. But I'd also like the percentage to be available in the entire software and all the tabs and not just on the main dashboard. But for me, over the course of my day filming some B-roll with RGB on at 100% brightness, it did drain a single bar in about 3 hours. So that's looking like an estimated 15 hours of full RGB. But again, not worth the sacrifice at all. Improve the battery life, turn the brightness down, and I charged it for 30 minutes and I got full battery life. So that's good to see. So when it arrived in and I had some time to game, putting it to the test, admittedly, I felt at home because I'm so used to the Model O. I've used that a lot in the past, so obviously the shape is gonna feel very familiar. I didn't have any hiccups transitioning to the wireless version, so that's good to see. And absolutely no issues whatsoever in terms of lag or latency, nothing like that, no interruptions. And like I showed you before with the 2 different variants of their G Skates and G Floats, I switched them up. I used both, and I also used them on different mousepad surfaces. Primarily, I used it with their brand new Ice mousepad. I'll show you that more in detail tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that video. But I can tell you both feel very, very smooth, whether it is their ceramic feet or their stock G Skates. And primarily using it on my Fnatic Dash mousepad, it was just very, very smooth. Again, no issues whatsoever. I think the big thing for me, like when it came to just, using this mouse again after then using the Viper Ultimate for the past 8 months or whatever it is now, setting it to 500 DPI in a game like Battlefield, which you guys know I primarily play for these benchmarking videos and gaming mice reviews. It's kind of my go-to, you know how it is by now. It just felt very precise and accurate to the point where you can see in some of these shots, the enemies in the distance are just a pixel, if that. So the fact that I can identify it, quickly go and shoot him in the face is a good sign. While it's still not the lightest lightweight mouse that I've tried, the shape feels good. I have no issues with it. The ambi design feels nice in my hands, and I just really have nothing to complain about when it came to gaming. Even for instances in game where I'm not sniping. So instead of those, slower controlled shots, if I'm on the ground with different recoil for certain guns, it all still felt just very, very accurate. Got that pinpoint precision, and in the end, that's what you want. That's what you expect from your wireless lightweight mouse. And before we wrap it up, we can talk about their new core software. Like I said before, the main dashboard there is the only place you can see your battery. So I want that to be, extended to all the tabs. For the lighting tab, this is where you can obviously go in and change up their preset lighting effects, as well as changing the speed of the effect, as well as the brightness. But remember, don't keep it at 100. Then next up is key bindings, where you can go in and reprogram all 6 of the programmable buttons. You can see on the right side, you can change it to a key press or a mouse press, change it to shift to a DPI, create macros, set them as multimedia keys, all that stuff. Then for the performance tab, that's where you can go in and change up your DPI and then set those stages in different LEDs for the indicator on the bottom of the mouse. Again, all the way up to 19,000. You can also adjust the liftoff distance, the debounce time, and the polling rate here. But all things considered, pretty clean and simple software. So wrapping it up, when you take a look at the overall package here for $79.99, it's honestly very hard to be cynical or find, flaws about it. Great sensor, great battery life, great overall shape and weight at that price. And in terms of the design, again, I know people don't really like the honeycomb cutouts, but in terms of stability and stuff, there's no creaking, no flexing anywhere. It's just extremely hard to be cynical about a great wireless lightweight mouse like this. I don't know what to say other than the fact that this is probably gonna be one of the top selling mice throughout the next year or so. And I honestly cannot look at this and pinpoint a single, negative thing about it. Again, everyone's preference is gonna be different, whether you like the cutouts or not, whether an ambi mouse is the right shape for you and your hand or your hand size. The only real thing I could possibly think of is that it would have been nice for them to include these skins already inside the box for you, so you could cover up the holes if you want, but again, that's not really much of a con. It's a great mouse. Glorious, absolutely killing it again for just $79.99. Man, they're winning 2020, for sure, for sure. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link for you in the description down below. And like I said, be on the lookout tomorrow for their Elements desk pads. I'll be going through and giving like a first look and first impressions of those. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for my review of the glorious Model O Wireless. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely recommend. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. Lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, damn it. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope you're staying safe. Have a good day.